Hello, it's Abigail of Ground and Grow Yoga, and today's practice is a nice restorative practice. I suggest bringing both a pillow and a blanket with you today, and to wear comfortable clothes. We're going to be holding postures for a longer period of time, working into the joints, but also just allowing ourselves to connect with our breath and come into a place of relaxation. Yes, it is an hour-long practice, but this is something that is really helpful to feel more at ease and be able to have more energy for the rest of your day. So, hop on your mat and let's get started. All right, so grab your pillow and we're going to come sit on the edge of the pillow just so that your hips are a little bit higher than your knees. And then your blanket, we have some options. You can either take your blanket just around your shoulders, put your hands into it and pull down, so it's just putting a little bit of weight in your shoulders. You can bring it up over your head and kind of cocoon yourself in if that feels good for you. Or I personally like if you bring it around the back of you, so it's hugging your low back, and then just tuck the ends in under your legs. It just gives you a little bit of support for your back while you're sitting here and feels kind of like you're being hugged. But any of those three things is perfect, or if you find a different way to use your blanket, you can do that as well. But come to a comfortable seat and allow your eyes to close or focus on something off in the distance with a gentle gaze. And just check in to see how you're feeling. Noticing any places in the body that might feel tight or sore. Noticing how you're feeling today, if you're feeling tired or maybe feel full of energy, but just noticing how you feel both physically and emotionally as you come to the mat. And thank yourself for taking this time to come to this gentle practice and really focus inward. All of our postures will be held for longer than we typically hold them. They'll also be more gentle and restorative than we usually do. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. And then when you're ready, allow the head to tilt to one side. Just feeling a slight stretch through the side of the neck. You don't want to feel any pain here. You don't want to feel any pulling. Just tilt the head just enough to feel like it's stretching slightly, but again, with no pain. If you don't feel anything with the head just tilted, you can try moving the chin up or down and see if it engages there. So with my chin down, I feel it more through the cord. Or you could bring the fingertips to the top of your head to bring a little bit of weight through your hand, but you don't want to pull on the head. It would just be placing it there. And take a couple deep breaths here. You can stay like this, or you can take the opposite arm of the direction your head is tilted towards around behind you, and that's just going to increase the stretch through the shoulder. You obviously could bring it all the way around into a bind, but that's going to be more active. Really breathing into it, coming into this moment. If the mind starts to wander at all, draw it back to your breath. And very slowly, if the hand is behind you, release it and gently bring the head back to center. Noticing how the two sides might feel different after the stretch to one side. Again, relax the shoulders down. And then gently tilt the head to the other side. Noticing how this side feels in comparison. So for me this time, moving the chin upward, I feel it more than moving it downward. So just seeing where you feel the stretch. Again, you don't want any tugging, you don't want any pain, you just want to be able to feel slightly turned on. Breathing here. If you want to, you can take the opposite arm behind you to engage the shoulder, or you can just stay where you are. Focusing on the sensations in the body, focusing on your breath. When you're ready, release the arm, head comes back up to center. And maybe you do a little bit of a half circle back and forth, just releasing the neck. If you want to, you can do a full circle, but be careful of not throwing the head backward. Just bringing it up to center and back around. Depending where your blanket is, bring it up so that you have it over your arms. And you're going to reach your arms out nice and wide. And then you're going to cross one arm over the other to come into a hug here. So don't worry about the hands coming anywhere near each other in the back. You just have one arm crossed over the other, and we're using the blanket to give ourselves a hug. Notice how it feels to be wrapped in warmth. How it feels to give yourself a hug.
chin can be dipped slightly towards the chest. You'll feel it through the upper back, between the shoulder blades. Because we are holding things for longer, you don't want to feel them as much. So again, we're not trying to muscle the hands all the way to meet each other, because we are holding it for longer, working into the joints and connective tissues more so than the muscles. Breathing here. When you're ready, reach the arms back out wide and just switch opposite arm coming over the other to give yourself a hug. So for whatever reason, I feel it more on this side, so I'm going to release the hand slightly. We're passive stretching. Always drawing the attention back to your breath, back to the sensation whenever your mind starts to wander. If you have trouble focusing on just the breath, you can pick an intention, a phrase you can repeat. A good one for today would be, I love myself, or I take time to care for my body and mind. When you're ready, release the hands down and just do a couple of rolls through the shoulders. Moving them back and then moving them forward. Making sure to keep the blanket over the shoulders. You're going to bring your arms out to the side in like a superhero pose here, pulling on whatever part of the blanket is near your hands to tighten it around the arms. And so it's just gently opening the chest here. You don't want to have any pain or pulling. It's just a gentle movement through the elbows to open up the chest. If you don't feel it at all because your chest is already open, you can bring the hands back behind you more. But for many of us, since we spend so much time hunched over at the computer, driving, whatever, you probably already feel it just with the arms out to the side. Good. From here, we're going to send the legs out straight in front of us. So I'm going to turn. We're sending the legs straight out in front, but we are going to bend our knees. And we're all going to take our blanket down behind the low back. So wrapping it behind the low back and pulling the ends towards the feet. Come to sit up nice and tall. And then when you're ready, pull the blanket to come forward. Again, until you feel it engage slightly, but again, you don't want to feel it too much. You don't want there to be any pain. And then just relax the head over. So the blanket is enabling us to come a little bit deeper here. But with the knees bent, we're taking this posture out of the muscles of the legs, but instead focusing on that low back. Focusing on the breath, or focusing on your intention. You can stay like this, or you can bend the knees all the way to bring the legs up so the knees are coming towards the face. Again, pull on the blanket so it engages the back, and then relax yourself over the legs. So here we also get into the hips as well. Breathing here in whichever fold feels more comfortable. Regardless of which position you're in, tuck the chin and slowly roll up. Scoot forward to come off of your pillow and release the blanket. We're going to send the legs out long, this time bringing the pillow to our hip creases, bringing the blanket so that it's just balled on top. And now we're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, just fold over the pillow and blanket. So I immediately start to feel this in my legs because my legs are completely straight. If you do not want to feel it in your legs, you can still bend them. But we're allowing the upper body to completely round here, round around your blanket and pillow. You can rest the head either to one side or directly down. If you do have it to one side, make sure that you switch to the other side. I'll let you know when. Switch your head to the other side. Getting a stretch all the way down the spine from the top of the head down to the tailbone. When you're ready, roll up slowly. Move the pillow and blanket so that they're in front of you. Bend the knees and come so that the side of you is up against the pillow and blanket. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips to come over the side of the pillow. So getting a gentle stretch through the side body. If this is too much with the arm overhead, just bring it in front. If the stuff that you have is too flat, you can always add more here so you're not laying as flat, or just bunch up what you have. But regardless, we're getting a stretch through the side body, and it doesn't take much to open up through the ribs and through the chest. This is great for digestion. Again, bringing the arm wherever is comfortable. Always returning your attention to your breath or to your intention for the class. When you're ready, slowly push yourself up. Come to all fours. Settle the blanket so that, again, it's near where your hip points are. Send the feet out to come to lay on the pillow in a supported cobra pose, or sphinx pose rather. Breathing here and noticing as you breathe how your stomach pushes into the pillow and then contracts, almost giving your organs a massage here as we compress and decompress the organs. If you're looking for more of a stretch, you can always come into half frog by moving the leg up, knee bent. And I'll tell you when to switch to the other side if you choose to do that. But definitely stay in Sphinx if this is enough of a stretch through the chest and you don't have to worry about the legs. Switch legs if you're in half frog. Release the leg if you have it up. Press into the palms and bend the knees to come to all fours. And then we're going to come to our side stretch on the other side. So I'm going to move, so I'm still facing you guys. We're coming to stretch the other side, moving our hip towards the pillow, bunching it up if we need to. And then arms come up towards the sky and over. Putting the arm wherever is comfortable. When you're ready, slowly push yourself up. Turn so that your back is up against the pillows. Bring your feet together into Badakanasana, and then we're going to just lay back here, releasing the head, neck, releasing the arms. If you feel like you're falling off, just tuck the chin and come up. Make sure it's directly behind you. And come back down. So we're opening up through the chest, opening up through the throat, and opening up through the hips and stomach. Breathing here. You can always send the legs out long if you would prefer to not have the hip stretch as well. Feeling it as gravity works on your elbows and your shoulders to open up through the front body. When you're ready, tuck the chin in towards the chest, come up and release the pillow and blanket. We're going to bring the pillow underneath our knees, and we're going to bring a blanket just over us. Use your hands to come to lay down on your back and pull the blanket up over your shoulders. Arms can either be out to the side, or you can bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And we'll be ending our practice with Yoga Nidra, which is a meditation and restorative practice that just focuses on the breath and focuses on the sensations in the body. So make sure you're feeling comfortable here. The pillow under your knees is to help you release your low back flat into the mat. If there's any discomfort in the head, play with moving the chin until you don't feel the discomfort. If you still feel uncomfortable, you can always roll something up and place it right below the neck. But it is better to practice without something supporting the neck if possible. And I want you to scan your body from the top of your head down to your toes. And notice which parts of your body are touching the mat and which parts have air between you and the mat. Draw your attention to your breath, and as you breathe in, really sink into all the places that you are touching the mat. And as you exhale, let everything release. So on the inhale, we're actively pushing into the mat, and on the exhale, we're relaxing into the mat. Allow the tongue to fall to the bottom of the mouth. Notice if the eyebrows are together. Relax the face. Relax the mouth and the eyes. And focus on the breath. Counting backwards from 3. Inhaling in and out. 3. In and out. 2. In and out. 1. Draw your attention to your heart and imagine a glowing ball of light at your heart center. As you inhale, it expands, and as you exhale, it diminishes. The light pulsing at the speed of your breathing, trying to lengthen the inhales to spread the light through the chest, and slow down the exhales to try to keep it as bright as possible for as long as possible. Notice the ball of light as it slowly starts to move towards your right shoulder and down your right arm into your elbow. Watch it as it travels down into the palm. And shines out each finger. Focus on the light as it travels back up the arm and in to the left shoulder blade. Into the left shoulder, down the arm and into the elbow, and down into the palm. And watch the light as it shines out through each finger. Watch the light travel back up the arm and into the right shoulder blade before pooling into both shoulder blades and settling behind your heart. Focus on the light as it travels up through the neck and throat and settles into the mouth. Before spilling out into the ears and around the eyes towards the top of your head. Follow the light as it moves back down through the face, through the throat, and into your chest. Watching the light split into two as it heads down the ribs, down the side body, and into the hips. Notice the sensation as the lights travel down through the thigh and behind the knees, down through the calves and into the ankles. Notice as it travels into the arches of the feet and shines out through the toes. Follow the light as it makes its way up the front of the legs and into the belly. Watching the light pulse with your breathing. I want you to imagine the light shining out as far as it can into your extremities on your inhale and flowing back to the belly on the exhale. With each breath, the light travels further. Watching the light as it travels throughout the body, pushed on by the breath. Allowing the breath and your light to shine throughout the whole body, rejuvenating it. As you continue to breathe, start sending the light out past your body, past the fingers and the toes, out through the top of your head. Starting to blur the edges of where you stop and the world around you starts. Relaxing fully into this space. And you'll hear my voice again in a few minutes.
Slowly start to draw your attention back to your body, drawing the light back in and up towards your chest. Noticing how your body feels as you scan from the top of your head down to your toes. Noticing if you feel cold or heavy. Start to very slowly move the fingers and toes as you return your attention to your breath. Counting to 3 as you inhale and exhale. 1. Inhale and exhale. 2. Inhale and exhale. 3. Start to bring the movement into your wrists and ankles as you do little circles or windshield wiper the feet back and forth. Allow the head to rock from side to side. Stretch the arms up over the head, feet out towards the bottom of the mat. Big stretch through the body. And release. Bend the knees and pull them up towards the chest, giving your knees a big hug. Finding some movement here after we've spent so long lying down. So maybe you rock gently side to side. Or maybe you bring the knees in a circle. Maybe you allow the knees to fall to one side to get a stretch through the side body. A little twist. If you do opt for the twist, make sure to switch to the other side now. Bring the knees back to center. And then roll to lay on one side. Breathing here as you cradle your head with your arm. Slowly pushing yourself back up to a seated position. Again, taking the blanket around behind you. Hands can come wherever's comfortable, either to the knees.
You can hug the blanket back around yourself again, or just allow the hands to fall into the lap. Whatever feels comfortable for you. If you haven't already, slowly bat the eyelids open. And focus on the breath as you breathe in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. In through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Invite a little movement here, maybe rocking side to side or moving in a circle. Again, we've spent a lot of time holding certain postures. So bringing this movement back to the body to prepare ourselves for moving off the mat. Inhaling again through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more time, biggest inhale you've taken all day. And sigh it out. Palms come together at heart center. Thank you for taking this time for yourself, and thank you for taking this time with me. Have a wonderful night. Namaste.
If you would like to see more videos like this, check out the videos in this playlist here. Also, if you haven't, please subscribe. Subscribers allow me to continue to make this free content. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.